Johnny Kemick here with Protocol 80, an inbound marketing agency. So you want to make your website better than your competition. Well, let's talk about a few things that we can do to make sure we beat the pants off of them. I guess to start with, let's take a look at your competition and decide once and for all that they are not the bar. They are not the bar that you're trying to reach. They may have set a precedent in your industry with a recent redesign or the way that they do web marketing, but you're not trying to equal them, you're trying to be better than them. So let's not look at your competition and say, well, what are they doing? Let's do that. Let's look at your competition and say, what are they doing? What are they doing right that we might be able to model and apply to our own web presence? And what are they doing wrong that we can do better and beat the pants off of them like we said? There's always area for improvement online. Whether you think you have the perfect web presence or you think somebody else has a perfect web presence, there's always a way to improve. I think we should also make sure that you have in concrete, set in stone, identified who your buyer persona is or your buyer personas if you have multiple, and identified how you're going to reach them at the various stages of the buyer's journey. Are they just now realizing they have a problem and trying to find some explanation of what the problem is so that they have a name for it in the awareness stage? Or are they in the consideration stage where they have a pretty good idea of what their problem is, now they're just kind of looking for ways to take care of it? Or are they in the decision phase where they're comparing you against your competition to decide who's the better fit to solve their problem? Unfortunately, most websites, the vast majority of websites, focus really heavily only on the decision phase, the about us, why we're better than, our product does this, that, and the other thing, which is great unless the person visiting your website is way earlier in their buyer's journey and they're looking more for answers to what their possible problem might be. So certainly you have to know, set in stone, who's my buyer persona and how am I reaching them at the various stages of their buyer's journey. And then when people land on your website, you want to make your website better than your competition. How does it look aesthetically? Is it more modern, but yet still industry appropriate and fits with kind of the genre of products or services that you sell, something that somebody would expect to see? Are you building trust through a very solid professional design? Does your design take things into consideration like what's most important on every page? What's shown when the page first loads? If you watched any of our other videos, we've got a video about featuring what's most important above the fold, that little line down by your status bar. What shows when the page first loads? Are you featuring the most important content above the fold, and are you reaching your buyer at the various stages of their buyer's journey above the fold? And then are you using content marketing to help generate leads through calls to actions, landing pages, and maybe some higher end content, ebooks, checklists, etc. that can help to answer some of your buyers, your best buyers' problems, as well as generate a soft lead for you to hopefully nurture into a customer. And then ultimately, how are you attracting visitors to the website? You may have the best looking website and your competitors may have the best looking website, but if nobody's visiting them, what's the point? You're on a desolate island where no one can reach you. You're not going to get much business bang for your buck out of a website that doesn't rank well in search especially. So what are you doing content-wise? Are you just putting in the bare minimum on all the pages of your website with just maybe a few sentences on each page? If so, you know, that doesn't tell Google a whole lot about what you do and what that page is about. Do you have a blog? Are you writing lots of great content targeted towards the awareness, consideration, and decision stage for your buyer persona? I hope so. And hopefully your competition isn't already doing that, because if you start doing that and they're not, you're going to kick their butt, which is what we want, obviously. So we really need to be focused on how we're going to beat the competition, not just reach their level, knowing who our buyer is and what they're looking for, how they're trying to find your solution throughout the buyer's journey, a really solid, aesthetically pleasing yet industry appropriate design, and then obviously how we're going to get them to our website. Maybe you're using paid search, maybe you're using social media, email, etc. But really focus and hunker down on SEO, because it's going to give you that long-lasting organic search traffic that everyone in your industry is probably competing for. So if you can do that right, you'll definitely kick your competitors' butt online. Keep checking back. We'll have a video for you once a week. Again, Donnie Kemick, Protocol 80, and Inbound Marketing Agency. Thank you.